If you love a flowy bohemian style outfit that also is oddly very classic and timeless at the same time, I have the most two perfect patterns for you to give a try if you haven't already done so already. I don't know about you, but it was always a little bit difficult back in the day when I would purchase ready to wear garments. And then when I started sewing a couple years ago, to find sewing patterns that fit that in between seasonal time where the temps started cooling down in the late afternoon, early evening, but it was still pretty warm during the day. You know, that summer to fall transitional period of time. That does happen, even though in many areas we're not quite there yet. I know that it's going to come. Before I jump into the two patterns where I'll give a full review as well as show you what the patterns are that I worked with, I'm Rachel Ann and this is Dine in Creativity. Welcome or welcome back if you're returning. Either way, you know I'm so happy that you're here. This is my sewing channel fully dedicated to the pursuit of creativity and anything and everything related to fashion, timeless classic pieces, garments that are easy to just throw on and go. In my quest to find garments and sewing patterns that fit the bill of being classically summer to fall transitional pieces, you know, those pieces where you could wear a big chunky oversized sweater, maybe throw on a pair of booties, tennis shoes, and be good to go. I recently had the pleasure of working with, for the first time, McCall's 8319 sewing pattern, which offers 5 different views. All of the views are so cute. For the sake of this video, I did view D, which I'll go ahead and share it with you here. It was a great, very easy to navigate sewing pattern that really came together beautifully and quickly. The only main modification that I did, as you'll probably already see here, is that I extended the length because I wanted it to be a maxi skirt to really fit that summer to fall, classically summer to fall transitional garment where I could actually change up the footwear and make it ready to wear for the late afternoon or early evening and not freeze or be too chilly. The top is actually what I'm wearing in this video today, and this is Simplicity 9749. This was the second time that I actually worked with this pattern and was able to sew it up. It's also another great one. The main modification I did is that instead of sewing a seam and making two separate front pieces, I say always, this is the second time I've sewn it up. The first time is in this baby blue style peasant top. The second time was in this gorgeous kind of lightweight silky material. I don't know exactly what material it is. I would say a poly rayon blend potentially. I picked it up from the thrift store for $1, which was amazing. The fabric is so pretty and lightweight though. But the main modification I did was to cut it, the front piece on the fold, because I don't like that seam, or I didn't think I would like the seam going down the middle. And it's worked out great both times. I've done that both times. So I'll start by breaking down even further this McCall's 8319 skirt pattern, which to me is just a classic style. I love the view B in addition to view D, where view B offers the buttons down the front. It looks like it's also gathered around that cummerbund waist, which I think is so flattering for so many different body types because it doesn't have to be skin tight, but it also kind of narrows in the waist a little bit and highlights a narrowed waist. This pattern is rated average, and although I would agree to an extent, I think that it would be very beginner friendly and straightforward for a beginner sewist, especially if you love this style. The other option here is just like I did. You can extend the length, make it knee length. You could shorten it even, which I think would be so cute, and even make it in a black corduroy fabric, particularly view D, because there aren't gathers in that view, and shorten it, and you would have a very cute short black corduroy skirt for the fall and winter season. The suggested fabrics for this pattern are gingham, cotton blends, challis, and lightweight denim. It does call for lightweight sew-in interfacing. I will go ahead and link the most recent interfacing I purchased from Amazon, believe it or not, in my link down below, where if you're also in the market for some lightweight fusible interfacing. I've worked with it a couple times now and I love it. I found it to be just the right weight. It's not too heavy and thick, but it's also not too lightweight. So I can just see myself using it for a variety of different sewing projects. If you can recall, just a quick shout out for the fabric of this particular skirt. This was a gifted bed sheet from my mom from Natural Life, who always supports my sewing and design and fashion passion, if you will. And I think it turned out beautifully. I think that it's just lightweight enough so that I can wear it in the summer months. My only personal regret with this fabric is that I didn't line the skirt itself, because I think it could have been a little bit thicker, especially as a summer to fall transitional piece, but I just paired it with a long slip underneath and boom, you're good to go. You could also add a slit to the front if you did a long maxi like I did, but there are so many ways to modify this pattern and really cater it to the style that you're going for and make it work for you. The things that was really important to me when creating this skirt, and I'm just sharing this with you in case you use a fabric where you can play around with the look of how the pattern matches up, but I thought it would be so beautiful to have all the different layers of this fabric match up and be kind of multi-tiered and multi-layered like this. Honestly, if you really wanted to switch it up, you could even cut out layers of different fabric and almost make it a patchwork style skirt. But as you can see here, I loved this teal turquoise part right here. This is the part where you're just going to use your lightweight fusible interfacing. Also, YouTube is seeing it first. This is the Unfettered Patterns tie front blouse pattern that I was just able to sew up, and let me tell you what, spoiler alert, I love it. It was so much fun to work with. Lots more to say about that, but for now I'm just going to leave it as is. In a future video, I will absolutely share more about what it was like to work with this unfettered pattern, sewing pattern. But for the sake of today, I just wanted to give you that little quick sneak peek preview of what that final outcome looked like. You know, the funny thing is, when I originally sewed up this cute little McCalls 8319 pattern, I also had sewn up this top to wear with it, but the colors together, believe it or not, they were actually kind of muddied and it didn't look good. And that's where I brought in the baby blue peasant top, which was Simplicity 9749 as well. I loved the color combination of this baby blue with this multicolored skirt. I think that to pair a basic kind of neutral blue with such a bright multicolored skirt was the exact style I was going for. I actually added the little tie on the front of this blouse, which is really honestly very easy to do. If you like the style of the little tie on the peasant blouse, really all that you need to do is cut 2 strips, fold the right sides together, get a little tube turner and flip those straps inside out, and boom, you can just attach it right to the front, just sew it right down the middle like I did, and then you have a faux tie to add just a little something to the front. But I think those little details are what make a garment so cute. For this little copper top that I'm wearing, I didn't feel like it needed that, so I omitted that piece. And as you can see, I mean, this is going to be a great top to pair with a pair of jeans, little oversized jeans. I could even see it with a pair of medium weight linen pants, something of that nature, but I think I can extend and have a lot of life out of this Simplicity 9749 top, which I'll tell you a little bit more about in just a second. This Simplicity 9749 pattern is rated average, and these suggested fabrics are chambray, which would be so cute as a summer to fall transitional piece for your wardrobe, but also cotton blends, gingham, linen blends, and poplin. Notice that this silky fabric was not one of the suggested fabrics, but when does a silky peasant top style blouse ever not look cute, at least in my opinion? And they're so easy to dress up or dress down. So it was fun to take a little gamble, if you will. I mean, honestly though, I kind of figured it would look cute, this little gathered look with this thin silky material, and I'm so happy I went for it. So be empowered, you know, to use different fabrics if you so desire. Sometimes it really does turn out great, even though it's not a traditional suggested fabric. There are 4 different views. You know I'm all about the timeless and classic style, so of course view A and view B are the 2 different pattern views I have worked with previously. I mean, peasant blouses, they've been around for decades, maybe even centuries. I feel like back in the medieval ages, they were worn underneath a corseted style top. So they're always timeless and classic in my opinion. And so view A and view B very much fit the bill in my opinion for that. Although there are the cute little twists that are taken on the peasant style blouse with the peplum bottom. So that is an alternative option. View C, as you can see that the model is wearing here, she has the little cutout on her abdomen area. So that's another little added bonus. But so many fun things that you can do with this pattern, so many fun ways that you can alter it. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, the view A style that I made, I didn't have enough fabric to make the sleeves long, and so they're actually short little flowy sleeves that just go right about here. Very cute, very easy breezy little style top that I have gotten so much wear out of in the summer months. This is, the sleeves on this pattern are 3/4 sleeves. As you can see, I didn't really care for that style too much, just my own personal opinion. And my preference was I wanted the sleeves to pretty much go right to the wrist. Very easy little modification. Just when you're cutting out those sleeves, just extend them by a couple inches so that they go to the length that you so desire them to. This is a pattern where when you get to be about 70% done with it, one of the final steps is to actually sew the sleeves on to the bodice of the top. This is very much a trust the process moment because even sewing this up for the 3rd time, I had a little pause where I thought, this sure feels weird. It looks weird. Trust the process because it will eventually align to what the pattern tells you it's going to align to and look like. So I just want to put that out there. If you've sewn this pattern up to, do you know what I'm talking about? It's kind of like a weird stage where the sleeves are loose, the elastic is not inserted, and you're thinking, what in the world do I do with this? It can be a little funky, but just follow those instructions. Again, redundant, but trust the process and it will turn out like the pattern tells you it will turn out. Overall, though, in my opinion, these are 2 great patterns to help get you through the summer to fall transitional months. Even wearing a big oversized sweater on top of this top, I even styled this top with some flowy black tinsel pants from Banana Republic. Of course, that's where I tend to get a lot of my pants from. Not sponsored, but I just love the classic style that they offer. That's where my jeans are from that I'm wearing. And you could really dress it up or dress it down. You could even wear it with a pair of shorts, little flats, something of that nature. So I love those pieces that kind of fit the bill for a variety of different settings in life that can also be dressed up with jewelry, different hair, makeup, pants, a skirt, or really dressed down and worn with some lace up, little tie shoes, some flip-flops even, and you're good to go. I'd love to hear if you've worked with these patterns before or if you plan to make them after kind of seeing what the finished view looks like. Again, I love them both. I think they're great. Of course, I'm biased, but I really did enjoy working with both of them. How are you doing with your summer or fall sewing projects? I really learned a lot when it came to starting to sew my summer sewing projects all the way back in January of this year. It really kind of allowed for me to enjoy the summer, have those projects already done because I did a lot of traveling this summer, staying with my mom, so I really wasn't able to sew. So it was nice to just have those projects already completed, and I think the fall is going to be nonetheless. I have a lot of travel plans upcoming with my husband, just a busy next few months going on. So that's where I am coming from in terms of trying to think ahead to all of the summer to fall transitional projects, but also straight fall sewing as well. So I do have some very cute transitional projects to show you, maybe to give some inspiration on creating your dream summer to fall transitional wardrobe, but then also some traditional fall sewing projects. So those will be coming up in the very near future. And I can't wait to share with you some of those patterns I used. As always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're taking great care of yourself wherever you are in life right now. Happy, happy creating and sewing, and be well.